Hello everyone and everyone who is following our special newsletter. Today, we bring you to a horrifying scene when the strong level 5 storm Beryl recently made landfall in Texas, bringing heavy rain and strong winds, completely turning people's lives upside down. Join us in delving into the actual situation at the scene and feel the emotions of pain and panic of the people facing the devastation of nature. Hurricane Beryl arrives in Texas. On July 8th, Hurricane Beryl hit Texas with devastating force. Beryl brought not only heavy rain but also strong winds, creating a scene of chaos and terror. The wind blew loudly, the trees swayed, and the dust swirled. The heavy rain seemed to submerge everything, causing surrounding houses to suffer tremendous pressure from rain and wind. Texans prepared for the storm, but no one could have predicted its devastation. The screams, the wind whistling through every door, and the sounds of objects breaking around created a tense and fearful atmosphere. Storm Beryl is not only a physical challenge, but also a mental challenge for the people here. From the first hours, when the first signs of the storm appeared in the sky over Texas, anxiety was everywhere. The clouds darkened and the winds began to blow strongly, signaling that a natural fury was about to strike. Families rushed to cover their homes, buy food and water to prepare for the difficult days ahead. However, no one can imagine the terrible extent of Storm Beryl. Level 5 wind gusts ripped everything apart. Trees were uprooted, billboards were blown away, and even sturdy structures could not withstand the storm's destructive power. The roads became desolate, filled with debris and rubble. Street condition. Texas streets submerged in water. Heavy rain caused the streets to be deeply flooded. Water flooded into car engines, causing them to stall and be unable to move. The driver was trapped in the car, worried and frightened by the impossible situation. They had to ask for help from rescue workers to escape this dangerous situation. On the roads, vehicles were scattered, covered by water. Roads that are usually crowded with people have now turned into fast-flowing rivers. People have to use rudimentary means, such as small boats to move, trying to find a safe place. Every step becomes a challenge, a battle against harsh nature. Streets that were once places of entertainment and shopping are now filled with water, trash, and debris of life. The sight of vehicles being swept away by water and lying haphazardly on the roads made the atmosphere even more gloomy and gloomy. Shops, restaurants, and businesses had to close, suffering heavy damage from the storm. Pedestrians, with faces full of worry and fatigue, try to find their way back home or find a safe shelter. Among those trapped are children and the elderly, who are the most vulnerable in this situation. The children, with frightened and bewildered eyes, not understanding what was going on, could only hold their parents' hands tightly and pray that everything would be okay. The elderly, with weak health, must rely on the help of relatives and neighbors to overcome immediate difficulties. The people's feelings of horror. While we approached the scene, we could clearly see the panic and fear on the faces of every citizen. A driver trapped in a car shared with us, "I really don't know what to do. Water poured into the car, the engine stalled, and I was stuck here. The wind was blowing so hard that I felt like the car could overturn at any moment. I just prayed and hoped the rescue staff would arrive on time." Another woman, standing next to her house, shed tears when talking about what happened. "The storm came too fast, too strong. We tried to protect the house, but everything happened. Everything we had was swept away by the storm. Now we have to start from scratch." The emotions of the people of Texas right now are difficult to describe in words. Panic, anxiety, and helplessness were clearly visible on every face. Some people have lost everything, from property, homes, to precious memories in life. They stood amid the rubble, watching their beloved home being destroyed, without knowing what to do next. An older man, with red eyes, shared, "This house has been with us for many years. It is not only a place to live, but also contains many memories. Now, everything is just ruins. We don't know where to start again." These words, along with the image of the house being completely destroyed, truly made everyone cry. Rescue operations. Rescue workers worked tirelessly to help trapped residents. They faced danger from strong winds and heavy rain, but did not hesitate to enter flooded areas to save people. A rescue worker shared, "We know that every minute that passes is a human life. We try our best to get them to safety." Rescuers, wearing protective suits, had to venture into dangerous areas where water levels were chest high to search for and rescue trapped people. They had to fight against nature with strong winds and swift currents to bring hope and life to the people of Texas. Stories of the bravery and sacrifice of rescue workers have become a source of inspiration for many people. A rescue team had to overcome flooded roads and fast-flowing water to rescue a family trapped in their home. They had to climb over fallen trees, facing the risk of being swept away by the rushing water, but in the end, they succeeded in bringing the family to safety. The situation of houses is affected. Not only the streets and vehicles, the surrounding houses were also under great pressure from the storm. Many houses had their roofs blown off and their windows shattered. The families living there had to evacuate in a state of panic and pain as they witnessed their homes being destroyed. An old man, standing in front of his completely destroyed house, shared with a choked voice, "This house has been with us for many years. It is not only a place to live, but also contains many memories. Now, all that remains is ruins. We don't know where to start again." Homes, once safe and warm shelters, are now reduced to piles of rubble and debris. Families had to leave their homes, taking with them their most necessary belongings. To find safer shelter, they had to face loss and pain, seeing their beloved home completely destroyed. Moods and emotions of people after the storm. After the storm passes, what remains is destruction and loss. The people of Texas must face the heartbreaking truth that their homes and their property have been taken away by nature. A young mother tearfully shared, "We have lost everything. Everything we had was swept away by the storm. Now we have to start again from scratch." Texans are now bearing the brunt of Hurricane Beryl. They must find a way to overcome the immediate difficulties and rebuild their lives from the ruins. But in difficulties, they still maintain faith and hope for a brighter future. The painful images, but also full of strength and hope, will forever be engraved in our minds. In the days after the storm, relief activities were urgently deployed. Charitable organizations, local authorities, and the community have come together to help those affected. Basic necessities such as food, water, clothing, and temporary shelter were provided to people who lost their homes. Some people, despite having lost a lot, still maintain a spirit of optimism and solidarity. Together they cleaned up and rebuilt what was left after the storm. Stories about human love and mutual help in difficult times have warmed the hearts of those who witnessed it, a woman shared. "Even though we have lost many things, we still have each other. Our community is more engaged than ever. We will overcome these difficulties together and rebuild our lives from scratch." Conclude. And nowhere. And you are. Hurricane Beryl left a deep mark in the hearts of the people of Texas. The terrible destruction of nature not only causes material damage, but is also a great mental challenge. Yet, in times of hardship, Texans have shown resilience, unity, and hope for a better future. The painful images, but also full of strength and hope, will forever be engraved in our minds. Subscribe to the channel to update new news about natural disasters and touching stories about people overcoming difficulties. We will continue to bring you the latest, most authentic information about life and the challenges we are facing.